The time has finally come. A Minecraft movie has released and I enjoyed it. I think going into it expecting some absolute cinema level masterpiece was a bit unreasonable considering the target audience was definitely those who weren't even born when the game originally released. I promised in my original trailer breakdown that I'd be making videos analysing future trailers and eventually the movie. Unfortunately, I didn't get around to doing the trailers due to schoolwork, but I'm not skipping out on the movie itself. So let's get into all the Easter eggs and references that I picked up. First off the bat, we get to see an extended edition of the current Mojang intro that plays before the game boots up, which I'm happy to see. When iconic logos like this get extended versions, like, the Nintendo logo in the Mario movie, it serves as the perfect build-up before the movie for me. It's like, yes, this is the company that you love. This is the franchise that you want to see. And I really enjoy it when we kind of get to see more than just the standard logo and intro in front of a movie like this. Next, we get our first musical Easter egg in the movie. Minecraft by C418 plays as the screen fades in with Jack Black's monologue. At the same time, we also get to see the world generation animation from Java Edition, which was a really nice touch. As we continue into the overworld with the flashback scenes with Jack Black, Minecraft, the song, I should specify that, returns this time fully orchestrated, which I love the soundtrack to this movie. I just want to say that too. The soundtrack was so good. In the pan out of Steve's theme park, towards the left-hand side, we see a villager Statue of Liberty, which, granted, isn't exactly some revolutionary idea, but given the Mumbo Jumbo cameo later in the movie, I'm wondering if this was potentially a nod to the same statue from Hermitcraft 6. I'm guessing it wasn't and it's just a coincidence, but I thought I might as well point it out. Finally, we get to see the Orb of Dominance from Minecraft Dungeons as the MacGuffin of the movie. It's worth noting that its appearance more closely resembles the beacon rather than the game equivalent, it being orange. Malgosha very closely resembles the seer from Minecraft Legends, with the exception of her purple eyes. Once we get into the real world, we meet Garrett, who goes to the storage auction after the promise of a 1978 Atari Cosmos. For those of you unaware, the Cosmos was a cancelled handheld from Atari that would utilise a holographic display. It was cancelled due to a lack of interest from higher-ups in the company, which obviously would increase its value if any units were actually found. The auction itself is filled with a lot of cameos. From left to right, we have Mumbo Jumbo, Lizzie, aka LD Shadow Lady, Afmao, and DanTDM. These cameos were always pretty obvious considering that they were the exact YouTubers that we invited to the set, and I called it. I called it. Not calling much, but still, I called it. In Garrett's shop, we see a lot of gaming history Easter eggs. Now, here's the thing. I couldn't possibly see every single one of them in cinemas on opening night with the crowd relentlessly cheering "Chicken Jockey!" So what I'm going to do is make another version of this video when the movie comes out on digital, where I basically go through all the things that I missed and kind of analyze things frame by frame. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. What I did manage to spy though was the infamous Nintendo Power Glove, Rob the Robot, and none other than the most amazing thing ever conceived, Gorf. Yes, the Gorf. When we catch up with Henry and Natalie, we get to see some not so vague potato theming of their new home. This could potentially be a nod to the Potato April Fool's update from last year, as I'm willing to bet these scenes were filmed pretty late into the film's production. When we see Natalie, Garrett, and Dawn and Hank enter the portal, we hear the traditional Nether portal sounds ripped straight from the game. When night falls in the overworld, we get to see all the live-action mobs in all their glory. What made me laugh in this scene were the skeletons shooting each other, which, pretty commonly happens when, you've got a large group of mobs. After Harold and crew meet Steve, he takes them back to Midport Village. Now, interesting fact, the name Midport is actually a pretty deep-cut reference. Midport split up into Midport actually refers to the Nintendo Switch Bedrock edition of the game. The village is another location absolutely littered with references, but one that absolutely stuck out to audiences was the tribute to Technoblade, who Steve refers to as a legend, obviously meant as a nod to the legend of Technoblade. We then see Steve's lava chicken, and the design also loosely resembles the lava chicken stand from Minecraft Story Mode Chapter 1. Steve also says the line, "You ever wonder what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken?" which made me laugh for all the wrong reasons. It kind of reminded me of the greatest line in cinematic history.
Do you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else.
We then see Hunter craft a potato launcher, and nothing can convince me that this isn't in reference to the Create Mods potato launcher. I'm saying that's what this is. That's what this is. I don't care. That's what this is. In the chase sequence, including the quote-unquote man sandwich, we get to see Hoglins for the first time in the movie, and they look incredibly accurate to the game with their, unnaturally long faces. Anyway, in the Nitwit subplot, which I haven't mentioned yet, we see the Nitwit taken to dinner at a fancy restaurant where the waiter is Jeb himself. In the Malgosha dancing flashback, we get our second musical Easter egg in the form of Pig Step. The dancing could also be tied to the dancing piglins after a successful Hoglin hunt. Steve, Garrett, and Horace then enter the mine, where we hear a variety of the classic cave sounds. We also see the cactus launcher trap in the cave, which was revealed to be designed by Mumbo himself in one of the videos on his channel. Now it's time for the worst part of the movie, something utterly unforgivable. The powered rails. We see the team use them to escape, but here's the thing. You look closely. These are not powered rails. These are activator rails. What the hell? The team makes their way through a very poorly designed creeper farm. I mean, Steve, what are you getting from this? And we get a portion of complaints about minecart speed, which almost feels like Mojang being pretty self-aware about fan complaints and, their eventual increase of speed. Back to the Nitwit, we get a joke about him being Swedish, obviously in relation to the game's development. By far, the biggest quote-unquote cameo in the film comes in the section with Hayden's vision. We see Garrett, Dawn, and Steve appear to him, and Garrett and Dawn both have the same purple glowing eyes, like the Enderman. This, however, is not true for Steve, who has glowing white eyes, meaning yes, Herobrine is technically in the movie. After the big climax of the film, we return to Garrett's store, now called the Overworld. On the game Hummus and the team are developing, we get to see Minecraft skins for each character in the movie. In this scene, we also see Garrett wearing a creeper shirt. The last big cameo in the film comes in Natalie's martial arts class. Creative director of the movie, Torfi Franz Olofsson, I guarantee I did not pronounce that correctly, appears towards the left. We also get two post-credit scenes, the first of which wraps up the Nitwit plotline with Matt Berry.
Malls are fascinating places full of fascinating things. That's a baby village. Makes sense to keep them all in one place.
Excuse me. Hi. Would you like to sample our new scent?
No, off. Can't be sidetracked with cheap sex potions.
Going to be completely honest, I forgot he was cast in the movie, but I'm so happy he was. I love Matt Berry so much. He is one of my favorite actors. I love him. Speaking of voice acting cameos, though, I did neglect to mention earlier, I'm sorry, I can't. General Chungus was voiced by director Jared Hess. Who chose to name him General Chungus? I'm sorry. Who? The final post-credit scene gives us none other than Alex. She refers to something in Steve's old attic, which I highly doubt will have any relation to a possible sequel. If they're going for some big MacGuffin, it would most likely be something from Minecraft, not the real world. Personally, I think that if they do a sequel, they'll just do the Orb of Dominance again, but have the Arch-Illager as antagonist. I definitely think when a sequel does inevitably happen, there will be definitely more of a focus on the Illagers and Pillagers, because we didn't get any Pillagers in the movie, which kind of surprised me. I don't know. I mean, we got all the stuff with the Illagers in the Woodland Mansion, but and I'm going to save that for another video probably, where I discuss potential sequels. So, yeah. But thank you all for watching my little breakdown of the movie. Again, I guarantee I did not get everything. There was so much stuff packed into, like, tiny 30-second snippets in specific locations that there's no way in hell I could get every single Easter egg. But I got all the kind of big ones, I think. If I'm missing any, let me know. And yeah, I'm guessing there's probably a few more musical Easter eggs. I'd be surprised if there wasn't, to be honest, because we've got Minecraft and Pigstep, but I mean, I want more Lena Raine stuff. I love Lena Raine. She's one of my favorite composers, so yeah. But thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. And yeah, be prepared for my full, like, I don't know how it's going to be. It could be like half an hour long, for all I know, when the eventual full one does come out. So yeah, stay tuned.